Experience!
I'm Pat Mayo with your fantasy football update for Friday, October 11th. Seahawks beat the 49ers 36-24. Big story from the game. Jordan Mason hurts his shoulder, looks great in the game, tries one carry in the second half, and that's going to be it for him. Now, hopefully he's going to be able to be back for week number 7 against the Chiefs. They do have the 10 days of rest, and listen, he tried to get back in the game. It was just too much pain for him to handle. We'll see what the reports are going. So if he is not going to play, CMC's probably not going to be back for week number 7. He's now targeting an early November return, but Isaac Guerendo and Patrick Taylor were the two that came in to split carries. If you look at the box score, Guerendo looks awesome, mainly because of a gigantic run to close out the game, and let's call it for what it was, garbage time, when they were trying to run out the clock. He was wildly inefficient before that. There was a reason that you saw Patrick Taylor get so many carries in the second half, because Guerendo was doing absolutely nothing with the first opportunity. Guerendo is still the pickup. Now, if you play in competitive leagues, you should have him on your team already, because he was the pure handcuff to Jordan Mason. And he's not going to have the Jordan Mason work. We even saw Juszczyk steal a touchdown towards the end because they trust him more in the situation. Just cross your fingers, hope Mason's okay, and be on your way. If you played on Underdog and you took the higher, like I did on Jordan Mason, those good people, they refunded your pick on that, made it void. That's just fantastic news when it comes down to it. So thank you, Underdog. Use code Mayo at Underdog. On the flip side of the ball, Kenneth Walker's usage was fantastic. This is exactly what you want to see from a running back one the rest of the season. Were his totals on the ground good? No. Absolutely not. In fact, they were pretty crummy. That's the second consecutive week where he kind of got scripted out. When you get down big to the Giants and you get back down 13-0 off the hop to the Niners, you're not going to have a lot of good running lanes. But here's the thing. A lot of his runs are coming on 1st and 10. The Seahawks ran the ball 1st and 10, 5 out of the first 6 drives that they have for basically 0 yards. It's like the worst thing in the world. But their defense is so bad that they're getting way behind in these games. But the good news, Walker's actually playing these passing downs. 8 catches this week. You saw how many he had last week. A season ago, this was not his specialty. He was not on the field for these plays. But the fact that he is, and he's still getting all the goal line work, so he's going to pick up double-digit carries every game. He's now in that 4 to 8 targets out of the backfield type game, especially if they're losing, and all the goal line work. Like, that is exactly what you want. Even in a bad game, he's putting together great fantasy performances. So this is great news, despite the fact that the yards per carry and the rushing total are way down. That receiving work will help save his day every single week, regardless of the game flow. So that's great news for Kenneth Walker. Early look to the London game, by the way, on Underdog. You can use the QR code on the screen right now, or just use code Mayo for the app. But the QR code, I mean, what year is this? 3,000? Just, put that picture up, get the app, use code Mayo, and use Caleb Williams higher than 240.5 passing yards for the London game. What am I going to put with that? You can find out on the show on Saturday when I do the deep dive and I have all the injury reports that you want to know. Quick updates on everyone else. The Colts, Jonathan Taylor not practicing. Trey Sermon, full practice with the collarbone. That was just a big nothing burger. Apparently his collarbone is sore, but he is going to play. He is the Colts running back that you want to start. He's at number 21 in the rankings. Full practice for Anthony Richardson. Obviously Michael Pittman on injured reserve, but the big one to watch right now, we know Pittman's going to be out. Josh Downs has not practiced yet with this toe injury. This isn't great news. You might want to go pick up A.D. Mitchell right now because he might be the one filling in for Josh Downs with Alec Pierce on the outside. And if you can figure out which one of the roulette guys at tight end, they could be all right this week against Tennessee. But Tennessee, good rushing defense, pretty decent passing defense, so it may just not be a high-scoring game. Probably see lots of Sermon for the Colts on that side. For the Bills, no Khalil Shakir and no James Cook. This James Cook thing is becoming more concerning. It's looking like it could be turf toe, and he could miss Monday Night Football against the New York Jets. Go pick up Ray Davis right now. If he is still available in your league, he become the primary running back, and he would be... I have James Cook inside the top 10. Davis would be fringe top 20. He'd be in that Sermon range. And obviously you don't have all of these guys on your team, but he would be a play, a start for sure if you are weak at running back as well. But again, Saturday practice because of Monday Night Football is the big one for the Bills. So even after all the important information comes out on Friday, we should have the good information, the good stuff on Saturday. So Shakir and Cook, I do think Shakir is going to play. It seems like they're just keeping him out. And again, Saturday practice should tell the tale for both these guys right now. Joe Mixon is back at practice for the Texans. Full practice for Dameon Pierce. So Dameon Pierce will almost certainly be in and starting over Cam Akers and Dare. With Mixon, we saw a little bit of this last week. We'll see on Friday if he practices in full. If he doesn't, there is a good chance that he misses the week again. On Saturday, I'll update the rankings and put Mixon in if it looks like he's going to be in. Funny how that works. All the rankings down in the description. By the way, if you sub to that newsletter, you'll get the updated rankings sent directly to your email once I finish them up on Saturday evening. The Browns, Njoku, limited practice, Pierre Strong, Nick Chubb, and Foreman, all limited practice. It feels like they'd tell us if Nick Chubb was playing or not, and they're really non-committal to it at the moment. So I'm guessing that he is not going to be in this week, and even if he is, you still don't want to play him. Other news, it's not looking good for Malik Nabers. He needs to practice on Friday, or we got some serious problems. Do not drop Darius Slayton, or if he is available, go pick him up, because it's the Bengals defense on Sunday Night Football, and they're not good. And this Nabers thing is getting trickier and trickier. If he's not back on the practice field, it's going to be hard to pass concussion protocol in play. It's lingering for a little bit. Now, if he's playing, he's the number 2 wide receiver of the week. If he's not playing, Slayton and Wendell, both top 25 options at wide receiver. Zack Moss is back at practice for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's good news in that same game, so he and Chase will probably continue to split the workload. Christian Watson is still practicing on a limited basis, so they might get him and Romeo Doubs back. We saw a Twitter interaction that was fun on Thursday between my guy, Dr. Jesse Morris, and Christian Watson's dad. So maybe it's not a high ankle sprain after all. It's just a regular ankle sprain. He could be back this week. Again, Friday, we'll have more information. Shaheed says he's going to play on Sunday against the Bucs. That's good news with his hip injury. Kamara will be back as well. Jacoby Meyers still not practicing for the Raiders. Obviously, Aiden O'Connell starting at quarterback. No Devontae Adams, probably no Michael Mayer in that game. It could be Trey Tucker and DJ Turner because Zamir White is not playing either. It's not going to be good news against the Steelers defense. Move them up the defense rankings. Okay, full DraftKings show coming Friday afternoon. The full update, rankings, injury, props, everything coming on Saturday on the Pat Mayo Experience. So please sub and sub to the audio podcast too if you just want to hear the audio. Code Mayo at Underdog, and I am out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!